In 2013, we all went to Glastonbury to watch how Judy works with crystals. The movie we made has never been published. Unfortunately, she passed away a couple of days ago, so we decided to show this to everyone who loved her and cherished her. 2013-ban mindannyian Glastonbury-be mentünk, hogy lássuk Judy hogyan működik, hogyan dolgozik a kristályokkal. Ennek az eredménye ez a film, amit most bemutatunk a számotokra. Fogadjátok szeretettel!
I'm Judy Hall and I'm a karmic astrologer who's also a crystal worker, and I enjoy exploring the properties of crystals and what they want to do with us. So this film is all about how you can also get to know your crystals and use your crystals, and we're going to cover the basics first so that you really know how to start working with your crystals. So ever since I was a small child, crystals have talked to me and they've called to me. I would always pick up small stones as I was walking along, take them home, put them under my pillow. And by the time I was an adult, they were getting into quite a collection. But I didn't necessarily know what they were. And at the time, I didn't feel that it was necessary to know. Later on, I ended up trying to identify them all and wrote the Crystal Bible because I couldn't find something that told me what they did. But before that, I used my crystals for healing very intuitively. I would put them on a birth chart when I was reading a birth chart for someone, and that's something I always did at a distance because I taped the reading. So I'd lay the chart out, put the crystals on, and then, quite a few years later, suddenly realised that I was sending energy to the person through the crystals. By that time, I'd also trained as a healer and realised that very often I would pick up a crystal to help me with the healing. So it all began to make sense, but all my writing has come out of learning how to do it and then telling other people how I did it so that they too could explore it. I've been working with crystals for a very long time and I still don't understand how they work. I know they do because I see results, I see people's energy shifting, I see things happening in their life which have been facilitated by working with the crystals. But how the actual mechanics of it works, I'm still exploring that, and to me it's all about energy and frequency. But it's easy to say that, and it's not easy to explain it in scientific terms. I think quantum physics will help us, but I don't have a scientifically trained mind, and I hear about quantum physics and waves and particles existing at the same time, and I go, yes, that's crystal energy. But that's as far as I can go. I also lately have been hearing a lot about bioscalar energy and the fact that they are generating this in the States, they're measuring the effect of healing, and again I go, yes, that's what crystals do. And I also go, yes, they're full of life force, but I can't tell you how to measure it. I can only say to you, try it and see. One day I picked up a crystal and I can only describe it as vibrating. I really started to shake and shiver and my whole body was energized. And I had been feeling particularly rotten before that, very low in energy, very depressed without any sort of cause. And I'd been looking for a solution and picked up this perfectly ordinary piece of quartz crystal. It wasn't anything particularly magical looking, and it had been in my collection for a very long time. It had actually belonged to my grandfather. And the energy that poured through me, I felt like I was being drained of all the negative energy and I was being recharged. And my life literally after that turned around. So to me, that's the magic that crystals have. And it can be transferred for healing or for well-being, but also literally to shift your life and change your life. Over the last few years, particularly since the Crystal Bible came out, a lot of new crystals have come my way. People send them to me or they just pop up in a shop. And I think there's an unfolding crystal story going on, that new crystals are coming in to support an energetic change. And some of the old crystals are actually changing what they do as well. So we have a shift in consciousness for us, but also for the crystals. So after this introduction, let's look at some of the practicalities, the things you have to do first, and then we'll see how the crystals work. The first thing you need to do when you buy or pick up a crystal is to check that its energies are clean. Now, there are various ways that we can do that, and we're going to explore them. But one of the simplest ways is running water. And you can put it under a tap, but then you've got tap water isn't quite as nice as fresh water. So what we're going to do is put this under the tap or under, preferably, the running water. And just let it clean the energies. And then this needs to go out into the sun to recharge itself. Now, we're in England. We had sun a minute ago. We no longer have sun, so what do? We do it the easy way. So, if you hold the crystal, this bottle has got spring water in it. This is Clear to Light, which was made by Petaltone, especially for clearing and recharging crystals. So we just put 6-7 drops into the bottle of water. And then we can spray the crystal, and in less than a minute the crystal is clean, re-energized and ready for use. And that should be done anytime you use your crystal, especially for healing or drawing off negative energy. The crystal needs cleansing. The next step after we've cleaned the crystal energies and dedicated it is to state intention. Now, a lot of people say to me, my crystal doesn't work. And I say, have you asked it to? And they look very blank. So stating intention means that you're going to ask your crystal how to work with you, what it wants to do, and to help you to bring about the outcome that you're seeking. But we don't want to limit the crystal, so we ask it to work for the highest good of all, because crystals often know the way when we think we know better, but they actually know the best way. So to state your intention, you simply hold your crystal and focus your attention on it, and then state your intention that the crystal will work for the highest good of all. And this one being a heart shaped crystal and being a piece of eye of the storm, the intention is that it will give me a calm centre in which to place myself no matter what's going on around me. So that's my intention for this crystal. And after a minute or two, you just put your hands down and it's done. It doesn't take long. One of the things that will also help your crystal to work really well is if you dedicate it to the highest good of all, rather than just selfishly for your own good. So this celestial quartz here, which is one of my protective and cleansing stones, when I work with it, I always ask it to work for the highest good of all, and I dedicate it to the highest good of all, especially when we've got a group working, because it works on behalf of everyone. So please work for the highest good of all. I dedicate you to our highest good. There's one thing that will make working with your crystals very much easier, and that is to open your palm chakras. The palm chakras are here in your hands, and they're what you use if you do hands-on healing. And opening them is just to do this, and you can feel a ball of energy opening up between your palms. You feel them getting hotter and hotter and more energized and warmer. And when they start to tingle, then you know that your palm chakras are open. And when you pick up a crystal and you put it into your palm, or you put it into this palm, then you can feel the energy of the crystal very much better. Now for me, this is my receptive hand, and this is the hand that I usually use to send energy out. So if I have a crystal like this, which has a big point, and I have it pointing outwards, it channels the energy out. If I want to bring it in up this arm, then I will bring the point towards me. If you have a crystal like this, which is a cluster, it doesn't really matter which way you put it and which hand you use it. But you can feel the energy very quickly in this way. So we're now going to do a ritual to attract love, and this is the first crystal that I'm using. It's my big mangano calcite ball. And you don't have to have one as large as this. You can use a small mangano calcite, but if you can't get hold of a mangano calcite at all, you can always use the picture that's of this particular ball in one of my books and use the energy of that instead. But mangano calcite's a very soft heart energy, which is why we're using it, and a ball shaped like this radiates the love. We're using red candles as well because we want some passion in here, as well as the unconditional love that mangano calcite gives us. Now, we're also using rose quartz hearts, which are basically crystallized love. And we put them around the ball to help to radiate the love out. And I'm pointing them in so that they actually create a fountain. The love comes in and then it comes out to Andrea, who is waiting to receive it. And we have used red roses as well for love. and a pink rose for the unconditional love. And this layout is a really simple way of bringing love into your heart and also of attracting love into your life. Well, Andrea, you want to bring more love into your life, so we're going to ask the crystals to do this for you. But we're going to ask for it to be the right kind of love, the love for your highest good, not the kind of love that's destructive or that demands things. Unconditional love in the nicest possible way, and to bring you a twin flame who will support you. So we've got the Mangano calcite ball, which sends out a lot of love. And then we've got crystallized love, which is the rose quartz hearts. We've got the roses and we've got the candles. So what I want you to do is to light the candles, holding the intention that they will bring love to you. Hands to your heart and take the light of the candles and take the energy from the crystals in to your heart. Open your heart to receive the love. Just breathe it in, filling your heart with love. And then when you blow the candles out, I want you to send that wish for love out to the world so that it will bring back exactly the right partner for you. And when you feel ready, big breath. And then blow the candles, sending that wish for love out to the world. Are you ready to receive love? Blow, and I take love into my heart. I am a magnet for love. You ready? Okay, just blow them gently. Blow the candles gently. And then say, I am a magnet for love. I receive love. I'm open to love. I'm ready to receive it. Thank you to the universe. Perfect.
Mangano calcite is a calming stone that eases and heals the heart chakra. A stone of forgiveness, it fills the heart with universal love. It enables you to accept love and have self-love. It relieves anxiety, stress and tension. It also removes fears of all kinds and reduces nightmares. Its energy is very feminine and will help call female guides and angels to you. Rose quartz is the stone of unconditional love and infinite peace. It is the most important crystal for the heart and the heart chakra, teaching the true essence of love. It purifies and opens the heart at all levels and brings deep inner healing and self-love. It is calming, reassuring, and excellent in trauma or crisis.
Now this is a self-healing ritual. It's a layout that you can do for yourself, starting at your feet. And what is here is a smoky quartz, a smoky celestial quartz, this particular one, to ground and transform and purify the energies. And then here at the base chakra, this happens to be a red carnelian, which is for energy and for creativity. And next to it, there is an orangey form of jasper, which again is about energy and creativity and energizing this whole line. And then on the solar plexus, we've got a stone which is going to soothe the emotions. I'm using what's become the traditional color layout, but it's not necessary. You use whatever you feel like, which is why at the heart we've got rose quartz to soften the heart, to help the heart to heal, rather than having a green stone. At the throat, we've got a blue lace agate, which calms the throat, helps self-expression. On the third eye, we've got a lapis lazuli to help to open the third eye, to help see with clarity. For the crown chakra, we've actually got two. One is a clear quartz, which helps the crown chakra here to open. And then at the top, to open the higher crown chakras up here above the head, we've got a petalite. And that's a very pure energy. It brings in spiritual energy. So all you need to do if you're laying this out for yourself is to start at your feet with the base, and then as you unroll yourself and lie down, you can place them in these different chakra positions, and you'll be able to reach the higher chakras, the petalite. And you just lie until you feel the energy is changing, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, and then you can take them away.
Smoky quartz is one of the most efficient grounding and anchoring stones, and at the same time raises vibrations during meditation. It has a strong link with the earth and the base chakras. It is a great antidote to stress and is able to fortify resolve. Celestial is the stone of personal transformation and accelerated learning. It helps you get connected to your higher self. It generates and amplifies energy. Carnelian grounds and anchors you in the present reality. A stabilizing stone with high energy, it is excellent for resolving vitality and motivation, and for stimulating creativity. Carnelian has the ability to clean other stones. Orange jasper grounds and protects during spiritual work. It provides insight into the most difficult situations. It stimulates the sacral chakra. Yellow calcite is a great eliminator and stimulates the will. Its energy, especially as elixir, is uplifting. It enhances meditation, including a deep state of relaxation and spirituality. It links you to the highest source of spiritual guidance. Rose quartz is the stone of unconditional love and infinite peace. It is the most important crystal for the heart and the heart chakra, teaching the true essence of love. It purifies and opens the heart at all levels and brings deep inner healing and self-love. It is calming, reassuring, and excellent in trauma or crisis. Blue lace agate is a powerful healing stone. Its soft energy is cooling and calming, bringing peace of mind. It activates and heals the throat chakra, allowing free expression of thoughts and feelings. Lapis lazuli opens the third eye and balances the throat chakra. It stimulates enlightenment and enhances dream work and psychic abilities. It quickly releases stress, bringing deep peace. It possesses enormous serenity and is the key to spiritual attainment. Clear quartz is a powerful healing and energy amplifier. It absorbs, stores, releases, and regulates energy, and is excellent for unblocking it. It raises spiritual energy to the highest possible level and has the ability to dissolve karmic seeds. Used in meditations, it filters out distractions and enhances psychic properties. Petalite is a stone for the New Age. It is also known as the Angel Stone because it enhances angelic connection. With its pure high vibration, it opens to cosmic consciousness.
We're filming here in Glastonbury, which is the heart chakra of the world, and we're sitting on a ley line, which is the Michael and Mary line, which crosses the widest part of England, and it goes literally straight down here, straight through the Abbey, comes up from Cornwall and goes out to sea. And this line purifies, transmits energy, and all the work that we do here at Glastonbury actually helps to send energy out to where it's needed. So it's been a very sacred place for a very long time. The Isle of Avalon was here long before the Christian church came, long before the Abbey was built. It was literally an island surrounded by water. There are very strong mythological connections with King Arthur and his knights, but it was a Druid centre of learning, so it's the perfect place to do crystals. And we have Chalice Well, where we can clean the crystals, purify them with their healing waters. We have the Tor, which acts as an attractor of energy down into the earth. And what we're doing is simply attuning to that and working with it to send energy wherever it's needed. And thankfully we have the crystals to help us. One of the things that holds us back from growing spiritually and from expanding our awareness is our past, our karma. Now, karma isn't punishment. Karma is a balancing up of what has gone before, what has been done that perhaps shouldn't have been done, what has not been done that should have been done. But if we can clear our karma, then we can very much more easily move on and expand and open up our consciousness. Two of the tools that you can use for this are a Brandenburg. This one is a smoky, double terminated for breaking old patterns, or a crystal like this which has within it a ladder up which you can ascend. So I'm going to work with Susanna to clear her karma, and I'm going to give her the choice. Does she want to go up a ladder or break the old terminations?
I would like to go up the ladder, please.
So I will work with this, not on her behalf, but to support what she's doing. And the first stage is to work up here, round the back of the skull, behind the ears. This is where we keep our old tapes, as I call them. This is the past life chakra, and all the way around here is where we keep these old patterns. So our first step is literally just to gently take them away, help them to dissolve all the way around, and especially in the back of the neck and in behind the ears. That's where they get held. Now that's feeling clearer. We can then use the crystal to go up through the layers. So with Susanna's ladder, it's the only word we can use for it really, we can go and check out the physical energy layer and just let that clear. And then we go up to the next one and we clear the emotional. We go up and clear the mental. Up again, clear the spiritual level, because that's where we hold a lot of old beliefs. We think that we were developing, growing spiritually, and maybe we've got to move on from that. So release the spiritual. And then the next one's a big challenge. Release the family karma. Let it all go, put it down, give it to the earth. Let the crystal transmute it. And back through the layers. The ancestral level, just going back and back and back as far as you can go. And Brandenburg's hold the perfect blueprint, so we can go right back to the beginning. We can call in the perfect blueprint and we can bring that all the way forward through the family line so that the family karma clears. And what comes into the present generation and future generations is clear, bright. It's not holding any patterns from the past. It's a new start. Just let yourself make that journey way back till you can go, oh, I'm in this perfect blueprint. Peaceful, quiet, calm. And then that comes all the way forward, through you, through your heart, out into the future, into future generations, so that they can grow without the karma attached. Good. Now, perfect blueprint all around. We're actually walking into the center of the crystal. This one has a key that I can go in through. This one has the top of the ladder. So I'm going in through the key, unlocking the key. Susanna's going to the top of the ladder, and there we can feel our connection to the highest of high energies. We go back to our source. And just get refilled, replenished, renewed from that source. And put it into the heart. And into the mind. And just here we have the soma chakra. This is where our soul is attached. It's where we journey from. And if you put a Brandenburg just here, it allows you to open up to connect to that perfect soul blueprint and to imprint it onto your body. So you then open your soul awareness, your soul connection. How does that feel?
Feels great. Brandenburg crystals bring balance, peace, and then bliss follows. Judy often says that if she has to pick a favorite quartz, it would be Brandenburg. For her, they are liquid light and people are just drawn to them like a moth to a flame. Brandenburg is encapsulated magic in a crystal. Its energy is bright and clear, like a beacon or a lighthouse light calling you home.
And now we're going to do an abundance grid, a grid that will manifest all good things, not just riches, but well-being and everything that Susanna wishes for herself and for others. And what we're going to use is Goldstone, and Goldstone is one of the few man-made stones that is highly effective, and this one draws abundance towards you. It's made from an alchemical process and it alchemicalizes your life, so it draws things into you. And the shape that we're going to use is a pentacle. And that draws down, then it takes it up, it takes it across, it takes it down, and it takes it up again, so that it joins this shape which will hold the energy, and then in the middle we will light the candle. So first of all, we need you to lay out the pentacle with the big stones, and we have a heart which you can place wherever you would like as a start. Make it big enough so that you can put the candle in. And then you need to actually connect up the shape with the wand. And then this can come here, because this is smoky quartz and it helps to actually ground the grid. Now, are you happy with that? Or would you like to have a circle of Goldstone as well? You know, an abundance of Goldstone. And this is not to enclose the grid, it's to help it radiate energy out and then to attract it towards Susanna. You're happy with that?
Play around a little bit more, but I think yes. Yes.
It feels balanced, it feels like it's bringing all good things to you, but it's also radiating energy out. And then all we need to do then is have the intention that this grid will bring abundance. And then you light the candle. And then just sit and receive the abundance. Feel it flowing into your heart and into every part of your life.
Goldstone is actually a glittering man-made glass. In gem folklore, it was first produced accidentally. The legend has many variations. A monk or factory worker randomly knocked copper shavings into molten glass. Alchemists discovered it during their attempts to produce gold. Or monks, practicing alchemy, created the secret recipe. Goldstone helps you to achieve abundance. Smoky quartz is one of the most efficient grounding and anchoring stones, and at the same time raises vibrations during meditation. It has a strong link with the earth and the base chakras. It is a great antidote to stress and is able to fortify resolve.
People often ask me, how do you find out the properties of crystals? And so I'm going to show you. We're going to tune in to this crystal, which is a new one that's been sent to me for evaluation. And the start of the process always is to open the palm chakras, which are here, and you open those by doing this until you can feel the energy, and then you can hold the crystal. And then you literally let the crystal tell you what it's going to do. And the feelings will go up your arm, they may make you feel very peculiar, they may make you feel wonderful, and they may land in different parts of your body. So that's the process we're going to go through. So we're going to go through the process step by step of attuning. So to start with, we need to have the palm chakras open. And if you just rub them, and you can do this kind of movement as well, and it helps until you feel there's a ball of energy. And maybe rub them some more. And it's in the palm of your hand that's opening up. And then if you're actually holding the crystal, you can see which hand it wants to be held with, or if it wants to be held with both. If you're attuning to a big piece like this, which you can't really hold, then I attune by opening my third eye as well and letting my third eye make a connection, and then the connection comes to my hands so that I receive the energy. And then it is simply a case of letting the crystal speak. Where does it want to go in your body? You may need to move your hand. For me, this particular crystal goes to the heart first, so I tend to go like this. But then it's going to be very individual as to what it says to you, where it wants to go, whether it wants to work with your organs, whether it's going to come up here. So just spend a few minutes just tuning in. The fact that the wind is getting up and it's getting really blowy and going around is so appropriate, because this is the energy that I found in the stone when I first worked with it and called it the Eye of the Storm. And so the wind is very symbolic. Okay, so let's see how that felt. And one of the other things that we need to take into consideration is the shape. This is a polished slice. We'll also have a look. We've got a raw piece and a very strongly polished piece. Does that change the energy in any way? And for me, when I first unwrapped this, because it was sent to me as a present in a big parcel, it was like being whirled around and then just dropped into this really quiet space, which is why I wanted to call it Eye of the Storm. And it meant I could go up here, I could have a bird's eye view, or I could be down here and grounded, and everything was going on around me. And I was fine in the middle. I could choose what I put my attention on. So I'm really interested in what other people pick up on this as well.
The first feeling that I got was quite swimmy. Like there was a lot of turbulence and everything got thrown up in the air. And then in the midst of the swimmy feeling, I'm feeling actually quite physically off balance. It went straight to my heart chakra. And it was almost like somebody had taken all the pieces of my heart chakra and just thrown everything that was in there out into the exterior, and that was spinning round. And I was in the middle of that, watching it all go round. So it was almost like chaos, which I found quite emotional, because it was almost like my soul had been opened out for people to see, and certainly for me to see things that had been deeply hidden. And then all of a sudden, it was almost like after the chaos comes the calm, and it just sort of all came in and integrated back together, and actually gave me a point of focus. At that point, the feeling, the sensation was at the back of my heart chakra. So for me, that signified that there was a lot of past issues that I need to deal with, but it was almost like it then gave me clarity and a direction of what I needed to focus on to overcome and move forward in the next challenge. But it shocked me. The impact on my heart chakra was, it wasn't like somebody punched me in the chest, but it was certainly like somebody giving me a good hard thud to the chest. And that was quite shocking. I wasn't expecting that. And although I feel emotional, I don't feel uncontrollably emotional. It's almost like a self-realisation of there's still work to do on those bits yet before I can fully move forward. So it's very interesting. Chaos and then the calm.
When I first looked at the piece, I had an immediate heart reaction, and the pink and the green made me think of heart, and there was an immediate heart reaction. When I actually came to work with the piece, I was very aware of the earth energy with it, and it's like you've got what's below the surface and what's above the surface as well. I found it had a very grounding effect, but there was a lot of movement on the top. I too noticed how the wind immediately came up and it felt like that was more exterior for me. Physically, my legs started to twitch. It felt like it was working on my base chakra. It was grounding me. It was relaxing muscles in my legs. My right leg in particular really twitched, and I felt the energy going down into the earth, but I also felt the earth energy coming back into me, grounding me. It struck me that it seems to be a very quick crystal. It seems to immediately hit you, and you either have an immediate response to it, but it again, as Karen said, it's settled very, very quickly, and it feels very transforming and very illuminating, I think. But a nice stone to work with.
I've got a nice heart-shaped one, and immediately I felt love from it, but I didn't want to put it to my heart. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but my throat's been a bit croaky. I'm not sure why, but we probably know why. So I immediately wanted to put it to my heart, but my hand, because I had it in both hands, so the energy was on both. My other hand went to my solar plexus, and I could feel the energy going down from my throat down to my solar plexus and whirling it all up. And I'm not sure if you noticed this, but I was really breathing it out. So although I had felt emotion, I didn't have tears with it. I had the energy came out of me. And then at the point where you said about see where it takes you, very briefly I found myself quite happily in Egypt. But the energy was just so lovely. I didn't feel the swirling as much as everybody else. It was more gentle for me, but it was inside me and not outside me. But I don't want to put it down. It's so tactile and lovely. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you.
First I held it in my left hand, then I tried to put it in my right, and it felt much better in the left. But all of a sudden it was a huge turmoil, like really like swirling energy, and I felt very, very emotional. All of a sudden my tears started to flow, and I started really almost sobbing. And then I put it on my heart, and immediately the calmness came. It was fascinating how really I was at the moment in the eye of the storm. It felt like that, just calmness. And I not like yours, like looking down on stuff, but being in the middle of everything, being in the middle of the universe, being the center of the universe, and knowing that I can do whatever I want. It was a wonderful feeling. It was very uplifting, and at the same time, it gave me the push that yes, you can do it. You can do whatever you want, because if you find this inner center, this calmness in you, from there you can do whatever you want. Thank you.
I wanted to take it in both hands and to draw it in. I immediately felt almost like a washing machine feeling. Great swirling, almost breathless, and energy going down my legs and grounding me to the floor. It was quite a chaotic energy to start with, and then concentrating in the center of my body, then it slowed, and I could feel a bit of energy here. The two seemed to balance. And then there was an immense feeling of calm. And it was particularly when the wind was so strong physically, there was a sense that all was peaceful. I had a lot more inner space. It was a lovely feeling, very creative, potentially creative feeling. Very powerful to work to start with though, quite almost startlingly powerful and quick. Yeah, it's a lovely stone.
Now you'll see that there are three different shapes here. The heart has been shaped and polished, and this is raw rough stone, and this has been sliced and polished. And you may notice that the people who held the heart, the nice soft gentle heart shape, actually felt a much softer energy, and a lot of emotion, tears came up with it, feelings came up. Whereas the ones that were raw and rough, it was more a sense of creation coming out of it. It wasn't as soft and rounded. This one actually acts as both, because parts of this are polished, parts of it are raw. And when I worked with it before, found that the raw pieces acted rather like a sponge and soaked the energy in, tumbled them around, transformed them, and then sent them out as this peaceful calm. But it is a very creative stone because it's got lots of levels and layers to it, and whatever it's going to do for you will be what you need. There isn't one specific way that you can work with this stone. You can try different shapes, different forms, and see what it does for you. Now, one of the ways that crystals are perhaps most commonly used, apart from healing, is for an angel connection, to draw in a guardian angel. And what we've got here is celestite, which is available everywhere, and it's a lovely blue, gentle crystal that pulls in angelic energy. What we've also got is angel's wing calcite, which for me, it's such a gentle energy. I just love it. It calls my guardian angel in all the time. But what we've also got helping us today is a completely new crystal, which to me just looks like an angel's wing. So we had to have this as part of our tuning in process. And this is an agate, which grounds angelic energies. So we are simply going to gaze at this very delicate angel's wing calcite, but you can also use celestite if you wish. And then feel it from the heart to the crystal and up to this angelic presence. And my sense always is, when I pick up angel's wing calcite, I have got angel's wings behind me and wrapping around me. And so it doesn't take long, just a few minutes tuning into it, to feel that I am wrapped in these protective angelic wings. And if you need a specific archangel, you can ask for that one to come, but I usually ask for the most appropriate. I don't like to limit archangels or angels in the same way I don't like to limit crystals.
Celestite has a high vibration and is a teacher for the New Age. It is imbued with divine energies and contacts you with the angelic realms. It jumpstarts spiritual development and urges you towards enlightenment. Angel's wing calcite links you to the angelic realms. It has a lovely pure energy that cleanses and soothes the heart. Angelite is a stone of awareness. It represents peace and brotherhood. It facilitates conscious contact with the angelic realm. It enhances telepathic communication and enables out-of-body journeys.
What we're going to do now is meet your magical self. This is a part of you which can bring all things into being. It's connected to your highest energies, and it can help you considerably when you meet the magical self. We're going to use Merlinite, which is one of my favourite magical stones, and this is a very simple ritual. So all I'm going to ask Terry to do, as she's opened her palm chakras already, is to gaze into the stone. And she'll connect to her magical, mystical, wonderful self.
When I first looked into the Merlinite, it looked to me like it was moss all around the outside. The more I gazed into it, the inside colour changed from a grey to a really warm green, which reminded me of oceans. And the moss took me into a forest. I was walking through a forest. I then got a series of various past lives, and I was shown positive past lives and talents that I'd had in those past lives. From being in nature in the forest, I was up on Glastonbury tour, in ceremonies there, and I was working with crystals, and then I had another life where I saw myself working with herbs. These were quick images that came one after the other. They all felt very positive, and it felt like it was showing me the talents that I'd accrued in past lives and the gifts that I could now bring forward and use now in this life. And it felt very rich and rewarding and very positive indeed. Thank you.
Merlinite is a magical stone that holds the imprint of the combined knowledge of shamans, magicians, priests, and other workers of magic. Its dual coloring blends the spiritual and earthly vibrations together, giving access to the spiritual and shamanic realms. The stone supports shamanic practices or magical ritual. It facilitates reading the Akashic record.
We're at Glastonbury, and Glastonbury is a very good example of the connection between very ancient sacred sites and crystals. Now, I call a crystal any stone, so we're not looking at bright shiny crystals, or we may be actually when we look at this one, but what we're looking at here are ammonites. This is a local ammonite. Dig in the ground here and up comes an ammonite, because once upon a time this was an ancient sea, and the tor at Glastonbury was above this shining sea of water. So this book, Crystals and Sacred Sites, has a collection of journeys around the world, and when you work with it you actually connect up a very powerful healing energy. So I'm trying to encourage as many people as possible to do the journeys in this book. And we have here the Glastonbury Zodiac and Chalice Well and the Tor, and a journey using ammonite which takes us into the heart, into our heart, because Glastonbury is the heart chakra of the world. And ammonite you can find all over the world, so it's a very easy stone to get hold of. And this is a very simple meditation. All you do is use your finger to trace around the ammonite with your eyes closed and going into the center of the ammonite. And as you do that, you're actually tracing a spiral and you're going into your own heart. And you can feel your own heart link to the beating heart of Glastonbury and the beating heart of Mother Earth. And Mother Earth's heart beats very deep, very slow, but you can feel the love that comes to you from Mother Earth, and you can send healing and support and nourishment to Mother Earth in return. And all that comes to you from an ammonite. So that's the end of this movie for the time being, and I hope that it will not only help you to connect to your crystals, but it will give you some idea, a much wider idea of how you personally can interact with crystals. If you need more information, you'll find it in my books, and they're available in most places now, so we won't list them all, but I hope that you will take what you've learnt and take it out to help the earth and to help you to evolve and to grow and to heal.